Andrew McCart, IFL TV. Eddie, you'll be pleased to know I don't have my...
I noticed that. Yeah, you haven't got the thing on again. Yeah.
Nice. You know, did you see the comments? It was me doing my best Chris Eubank impression. It's hard enough to understand Andy anyway.
I laugh as well through the whole interview, but well done, mate.
You've got to suffer to get the nice teeth. The weigh-in. I know you love a little bit of push and shoving at the weigh-in, man. That went from, again, 0 to 100 real quick. The weigh-in's been tasty, the press conference been tasty. Are we in for a tasty fight?
I hope so. I mean, I can't see it being anything but a good fight. I mean, Liam Williams, you know, with Liam, he's going to back it up. Whether he wins or not, that's another story. But what he will do is he will bring the heat. He will do absolutely everything to try and become world champion tomorrow night. I think it's a really good fight. I'm excited because I want to see Demetrius under pressure. And I really feel like we're going to get a cracking fight.
Is this Boo Boo's most dangerous opponent today in Liam Williams in terms of,
For sure. And it's not because he hasn't been wanting to face them. You know, he agreed to fight Billy Joe Saunders, of course, that fell through. The next in line was Carlton Dokwa. Didn't know a lot about him, but, you know, he weren't the greatest. Then he fought Akavov, who was a mandatory, not the greatest either. Then he fought Sulecki, good fighter, like won every second of every round. Then he boxed Luke Keeler. You know, he was in the top 10 with the WBO. Wasn't, you know, he's not really an elite world guy. And now he's got a real fighter. You know, and if you look at it, Liam Williams would beat all of that opposition comfortably, in my opinion. So this is a big step up. I think in America they're not really seeing it that way. You know, most people are saying, "Oh, you know, he'll win easy. Like, who's this guy?" And I'm saying, "No, he can fight, this kid." So UK is give him a lot more chance than the US. He's going to have his work cut out, Liam Williams, but he's going to absolutely try his nuts off, and I love that.
Is this going 12 rounds in?
I don't think it is, actually. I said yesterday, I think I said to you, I think that Andrade will stop him, which is a big shout because Liam Williams is super tough. I just think I think he's the perfect style for Demetrius Andrade. And listen, Liam Williams has probably got the right style to beat Demetrius Andrade. You've got to put pressure on him, you've got to be relentless, you've got to try and beat him up, you've got to try and do it, but at the same time, he's going to be setting traps, he's going to be counter-punching you, and he loves people that come to fight. So, it's going to be a great fight.
Boo Boo wins this. I like the way Boo Boo is, I like his attitude, I like the way he approached that sort of fight. Now, when I looked at what he did there in the press conference against Liam Williams, I keep thinking, what would that be like if it was Charlo? Do you know what I mean? That, for me, I'm like you. I'm like, I love that sort of stuff in the weigh-in.
Those guys, Charlo, and they'll try and poo-poo the Andrade fight. Like, oh, he's not this, he's not that. Come on, it's two Americans with a big mouth who are world champs. How can that fight not be appealing? See what happens tomorrow night first. I'm hoping that he looks devastating and we can really shout from the rooftops, because sometimes you need a scintillating performance to be able to back up those things. You need people to say, we want to see that fight, and a good performance tomorrow should do that.
Golovkin as well, would you look for that? I mean, Murata is the other world champion in that division. Is these the guys that you're going to look for Boo Boo next? Because, I mean, he probably needs these fights now, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think Golovkin looks at Murata and thinks that's the one for me, you know, in Japan. So really that leaves Charlo and Andrade, but, you know, he has to come through tomorrow night first.
Magomedov, a few words.
There's a couple of really good fights on the card. I mean, Gongora against Pearson is a really good fight as well. Magomedov Fedosov, really interesting fight, and the kids as well. You know, you've got Biaslanov, you've got Espino, you've got Ofer Jones, all in really tough fights. So I think it's going to be a good card. Of course, don't forget, on early in the UK tomorrow. I think the fight's kicking off like a normal Saturday night fight night time. So 7 o'clock. I think 11 o'clock main event or something like that, so great for UK fans, and I think you're going to get a really solid night of entertainment. And for the first time at the Hard Rock, fans only allowed, I think, 1,500, but it's deadly silent when there's no one in the Hard Rock, so I'm looking forward to seeing people back there.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to having fans back. I love having the fans, but I want to stay on Magomedov. He says that he wants, well, jokingly he said Joshua, but he said he does want Dillian Whyte. I mean, he's a hard-hitting heavyweight, that sort of style, similar to Dillian Whyte's, where he just comes forward and stuff like that. What's next for this guy? He's 3-0, 3 knockouts. He's facing a tough opponent, undefeated opponent last time. What is next for Magomedov?
I think the problem for Magomedov is he's kind of like in the who wants him club. Not who needs him, but who wants him. Because you look at the guy, you know, his amateur career was fantastic, former world amateur champion, really good heavyweight. The great thing for us is he will fight anyone. Like, there's not a fight that he would turn down. But when heavyweights are there, they're not going to look at a 3-0 guy and go, oh yeah, I'll pick him. Why would Dillian Whyte fight Magomedov? Do you know what I mean? Like, he probably would because he's a lunatic, but I wouldn't, as someone that's guiding someone's career. Why would I put a WBC interim champion in with a guy that's 3-0? Hands up, you know? So you have to, overpay people. Like Fedosov's been around a while, and people have been avoiding him because again, he's like in the same kind of mould. What is he, 31-2 or 31-3? You just have to keep making tough fights, and to do that, you have to just pay people great money. But the good news for Magomedov, or the good news for us, is he will fight anyone. So we don't even have to ask him if he'll take the fight. You know, Fedosov was a good example of that, where we just said, oh yeah, and even our matchmakers go, I doubt they'll take Fedosov. I said they fucking will, and they did straight away.
I want to just press you a little bit on your Tyson Fury meeting in Vegas. I mean, how was that? I didn't really get a chance to say how was it, and you just said you met him in Vegas. I want to see. Obviously, you've met Fury before, but obviously there's been back and forth. He's blocked you on Twitter. Have you talked about that? What was the conversation like?
I just met, like I said, I messaged him on Instagram where he hasn't blocked me, and I just said, look, I'm in Vegas if you fancy a cuppa. And he said, you know, I knew where he was staying. He said, look, come there, and I went up to see him, and it was good. I mean,
call you a prick?
No, I think, you know, I guess he's in two minds with me. You know, he knows I'm an AJ guy. I think he appreciates the work I'm putting in to try and make this fight. He wants this fight bad. That's one thing that was pretty obvious, and so does AJ. So, like, we can start the fun and games when the press conference starts, you know. But I'm trying to. My priority is to make the fight for Anthony Joshua. That's all I really care about. And no disrespect to Tyson Fury, but we don't work with him. He ain't my fighter, and I want him to get beat. Right, so that's a bit awkward to start with. So you're having a conversation. I'm looking at a guy thinking, I want my man to knock you out, right? But when the fight is made, those guys will click into fight mode, and it'll start to become lively and personal. But at the moment, everyone's just working to get it done. So that's all that matters. And it was only a brief chat, but it was just good to hear him say, "Let's get this made. Come on." I said, "I'm trying." And like I said yesterday, that you know, rattled around the world. Both guys are happy with the site. Both guys have signed a contract previously, so we just tie up the venue now and finalise that site contract, and we're good. So I don't see any bumps in the road.
Mark Kriegel said it's Saudi Arabia. Can you elaborate on that? Is it Mark Kriegel, I think his name is?
Mark Kriegel? Yeah, I haven't seen that, but of course.
You said it's Saudi Arabia, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think everybody knows that the whole strategy behind Saudi doing the Ruiz fight was to get the undisputed. So obviously there's been a lot of aggressive offers from that region. We'll announce so.
No, I can't wait. I'm not going to press you much longer because I did get the juicy stuff yesterday with you.
Yeah, you know me, I always talk too much, you know, but I feel like part of this process is to keep everyone informed and to keep everyone excited, because otherwise they wait and wait and wait. But they also get pissed off with hearing, oh, next week. But you know, we're moving as fast as we can, and hopefully we'll be able to give you the news that will make everybody do their beans.
Finally, Italy card tonight.
Yeah, Turkey against Bergen. Good fight, actually. Some good fights on that card. And then obviously tomorrow night here, and then next Friday, really good card in Barcelona. Gavin McDonald going for the European title, Kay Prosper going for the European title as well. April Hunter on that card as well. And then we got Chisora Parker the week after that. And then we got Canelo against, and then we got a big show May the 15th, which hopefully we announce tomorrow. Just trying to box off opponents for that.
So I'll get a chat with you tomorrow.
You know, I mean, I'd rather not, but I suppose you got to do the views, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm getting like Coogan Alma, like all the.
How many views did we do last night?
Well, on real time it's on 150th, and it keeps climbing. So.
Wow, I'm box office, baby.
View Hearn now, baby.
I know. It's all right.
I want to get a look at that jacket because me and Andy Pura were talking about it, man. It's a rascal, as you would say.
It's shout out to Dolce Gabbana. Obviously, my relationship with them is blossoming. Big news coming soon, and this was one of the latest ones they sent me after my pyjama gate.
Pyjama Gate and Nike Air Max.
Someone tweeted me going, for God's sake, you're 41. I was like, I'll tell you another story. So, genuinely, a shout out to Dolce Gabbana, you know, and they sent me some stuff, and they sent me a pair of ripped jeans, right? Not with like holes in, but you know, like semi-ripped, right? It wasn't too long ago when I was wearing ripped jeans. I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago. Anyway, I was in a room earlier. Put this on, top half, which I actually rate this jacket. I think it's a little bit naughty, right?
He doesn't.
Put the ripped jeans. Yeah, it's fucking pure up. Look at him. I mean, look, what's that? Fucking hell, mate. Serious? No, you can, son. Tell me, look, right? But I put the ripped jeans on, and I looked in the full-length mirror, and I went, mate, those days are over. I felt quite sad. I put them on, and I was like, you're going to get stick for the jacket. You can't go with the jeans. So just the jacket, and you know.
But you're in Miami, man. You can peel it off, surely.
Well, that's when I was in Miami last time. That's when I wear the Dolce Gabbana pajamas, and I went for dinner, and everyone was like, "Hey, man, love the outfit. I was like, yeah. So obviously, if I wore them in Billericay, you know, I'd get slapped. So.
Well, Eddie, I love the jacket, mate. I thought it was smart. It was Purell that said it was. What's the script, Eddie, in that jacket? So I'll snitch you in, Andy.
Because you know it's really dark in there in a way, and I heard someone say, I think it might have been actually Francis Warren, he said, "What's he wearing his kids' clothes for?" or something like that. So. Yeah.
Well, there's the banter started already. Eddie, I won't keep you much longer. No, Andy wants to get 10 minutes with you. So again, thanks for your time, and you know me, I'll get you tomorrow.
Cheers.
Cheers, Eddie. Thank you.